That should do it. All right, so welcome to race number 18 of 29 here in the 1989 throwbacks. Tim Richmond, after last week has really pulled away in the points. He's got himself a 100-point margin for the first time in quite a while, to say the least. He's trying to pick up his second championship in 3 years and the fifth straight championship for Chevrolet if he would be able to do that. Bill Elliott, of course, trying to play spoiler there. Ken Schrader, Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, and Jeff Bodine are all still lurking in the background. So don't count them out. And now we're going to go to the road course track of the year at Watkins Glen International. This has all of the makings of a good race. No doubt about that. So we'll see who's going to get the pole here at Watkins Glen. It's going to be Phil Parsons in the 55. Yes, remember he got his first career win at a road course. He did it at Riverside in 1986. So Phil Parsons, absolutely no stranger to road course success. And same can be said about the 25 of Tim Richmond. He will be starting second. In third, we've got Ricky Rudd, another really good road course driver. Fourth, we've got Terry Labonte. Fifth, we have Mark Martin. Sixth, we have Ricky Rudd. Seventh will be Rusty Wallace. Eighth will be Darrell Waltrip. Ninth, Jeff Bodine. And rounding out the top 10 will be Brett Bodine. So it'll be interesting to see exactly who's going to pull out in front here at the road course, as we are nearing the command here at Watkins Glen. The command has been given, and there is one thing of news that I definitely should go over really quick. Going back here, we go to the number 66 car, the banquet car. Of course, Rick Mast, he is usually the person in the car. However, NASCAR has decided to suspend him for 5 races because of his incompetent driving at Talladega, wrecking pretty much the entire field. And because of that suspension, rookie Rob Moroso is going to be given a shot for those 5 races for Hal Needham in the 66 car. Currently third in points in the NASCAR National Series. So it should be interesting to see how the really young driver in the form of Rob Moroso is able to react. Green flag is out here at Watkins Glen. Boy, what a track to make your Cup debut at Watkins Glen. Meanwhile, we've got a huge run going through the first corner. It looks like Tim Richmond's going to have the advantage going through turn number 1. They are 3 wide for the 3rd position. That can't stay like that for long. Phil Parsons will try to get away for the 2nd position, and it looks like he'll be able to do so. They are still going 3 wide here through corner number 4. Ricky Rudd trying to desperately get into the 3rd position, and Rusty Wallace is trying to still make it 3 abreast. Oh boy, going into turn number 5 here. Wallace is able to get underneath Terry Labonte, no problems. He'll get out of the long looping corner that is turn number 5 as they head off into turn 6. A right-hander. Got to slow way down for this corner. Look at the move here by Bill Elliott in the 9 machine. Elliott trying to get around Terry Labonte here on the outside lane. Look at him use the curb on the left-hand side. They come down to the line. Tim Richmond will lead lap number 1. And they're going to brake hard for this right-handed corner here. And it looks like Terry Labonte's going to end up clearing. No, he's not able to clear Darrell Waltrip, and Darrell Waltrip might be able to clear Labonte instead. What a power move through corner number 2, and that should settle down the entire top 10. So right now it looks like for the most part we've got the top 10 in single file order right now. Tim Richmond is your leader. Phil Parsons is in second. Ricky Rudd third. Mark Martin fourth. And Rusty Wallace will round out your top 5 for right now. You can see Dale Earnhardt, he's trying to fight to get into the top 10 all the way back there. Usually Earnhardt does a little bit better than what he is doing right now on the road courses, but he's definitely struggling a little bit here today. Hey, that kind of stuff happens. Mark Martin's going to try to make a move on the inside of Ricky Rudd here going into turn number 1. This is a really heavy braking zone and a golden overtaking opportunity. And it looks like he's going to be able to move Ricky Rudd out of the way. And I think he's going to be able to take the 3rd position if he can block up on the outside lane here. And indeed he will. Mark Martin doing a great job of passing a definite road course veteran in the form of Ricky Rudd. Now he's got to pass 2 people who have wins at road course. Ricky Rudd actually doesn't have a win at the road courses yet, but he always seems to be in the top 5. Phil Parsons, of course, with a win at Riverside, and Tim Richmond, he's got wins at Riverside and at this track here, Watkins Glen. He won in 1987. Not the year that he won his championship. He won that in 86. No, 87 was the year he won the... Never mind. 87 was the year he won the championship. He won the race in the year he won the championship. That's right. 86 was his first year with Hendrick. My bad. Getting my own facts mixed up. Not something you want to be doing on a stream, but nonetheless, that's what happens. Certainly better than putting this all through a video editor and then sending it out, because, man, that just sucks. It just sucks. Richmond slowing way down here, getting into turn number 5. And it looks like it's been smooth going here for Richmond, but I'll tell you one driver that is really, really fast, and that's the number 6 of Mark Martin. He's got a really strong car here. He's going to have to fight off Ricky Rudd. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it, as I keep on flipping to the wrong camera, and the caution flag is going to fly. Mark Martin might end up actually losing some positions here because of that move. And Ricky Rudd's actually going to take the 2nd position away from Phil Parsons there. So now the caution flag is out. Now we'll try to determine why that happens. Every once in a while we will get a caution, and unfortunately it looks like we've got something else going on here too. I'm not quite sure what happened. Oh. Issues for Jimmy Means potentially here. Yeah, watch this. Coming into turn 5. Oh, he gets booted by the 57, and man, he just took a very vicious hit. Mickey Gibbs also off, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Another interesting thing is I'm not sure what Ken Schrader's doing here. Ken Schrader with a blown motor here, so obviously that's not good. You hope that that protective barrier would help the 52. We'll try to get a better angle of it. Now we're going to give you our wide angle camera shots here. show you exactly what happened coming up to it. Some areas of the track, of course, this is a big track. We don't exactly have the best cameras in the world. Yeah, we can see them coming down the long back straightaway now. Now, I don't think this is intentional, but Hutch Strickland just gets into the back of the 52 here. No malintent. And boy, Means just took a hard hit. So you're going to see the camera cut here. And just look at this. Oh. Just a hard lick into the retaining barrier for Jimmy Means. That is just a very hard hit by Jimmy Means, and the hope is, of course, he'll be okay. Lap number 5, though, that is not the lap that you want to be having such a condition. Oh yeah, we've already got an accident like that, and we don't know really what Jimmy Means' condition is. Yeah, that looked like a really awful hit there by Jimmy Means. We will keep you guys updated, of course. Meanwhile, here comes pit stops. This is going to be everyone's big time to try to gain positions. Passing, of course, it's a road course. It's not easy to pass here. So it's all about being precise and being really quick on your pit stops. So we'll see exactly what happens here. Everyone looks like they're going to take 4 tires. And Richmond's going to be out, followed by Ricky Rudd. Rusty Wallace 3rd. Looks like Phil Parsons will get out 4th. And Darrell Waltrip will be out 5th, but it'll be interesting to see if they give Waltrip 4th for that. DW still without a win to this point in the season, which should be a shocker to a lot of people. Looks like, yeah, they are going to give Phil Parsons the 4th position. Anyways, again, DW 3-time champion of this series. A lot of people are shocked, saying how the 17 hasn't made it to victory lane yet. I really think it's only a matter of time before that ends up happening to this crew. They just haven't had a lot of luck. Him and Hendrick just haven't had a lot of cohesion. And they, obviously, Waltrip just not having the same success that he did with, obviously just not having the same success that he did with Junior Johnson. But these things happen, so we'll see how Waltrip's career continues. Right now, though, we can definitely say the biggest loser is going to be Ken Schrader. In the championship hunt, it looked like he was doing so well that DNF is going to kill any hopes of really being in the championship hunt until everyone else also DNFs around him. So, yeah, just a really rough run of luck there for Ken Schrader. He ends up winning Talladega, and he pays the price here with an expired motor. at Watkins Glen. Of course, that's got to raise concern for the 25. That's got to raise concern for the 5. That's got to raise concern for the 17. All the same owner, all the same engine. So that's got to raise a lot of question marks. Of course, Tim Richmond, there's really no question mark surrounding him right now. He's looking pretty good. One of the things we do have to say is, unless I'm missing him somehow, Mark Martin has fallen way back. Not quite sure what happened to Mark Martin, but you can clearly see he is in between Ben Hess and Rob Moroso right now in the 66. Remember that Rick Mass is on that 5-race suspension. Rob Moroso is making an impromptu start here, the first start of his NASCAR career. He finished second in the NASCAR National Series Championship in points last year to Tommy Ellis. Right now he's third in points, and he's definitely still looking strong. Pace cars come in as the cars are coming down the line, and the green flag is going to be displayed once again here at Watkins Glen. And wow, Tim Richmond did not get a good start at all as we watch the field fly by. And we're going to zoom up here. You're going to see Richmond did not get a good start. Here comes Ricky Rudd on the outside. He's going to take advantage. Can he complete the pass? Yep, he's going to get down in front of the 25. And Ricky Rudd is your new leader here at Watkins Glen. So give the lead to the number 26 Buick, Ricky Rudd. He's got 2 wins this season. He got off the schneid this year, finally adding to his win total. It only took him over 3 years to do it, but it finally happened. This team is obviously very proud of finally getting Ricky Rudd off of that winless streak that dated back all the way to 1985. They did that at Richmond. Ricky Rudd then pulled out another win, and now he's looking for win number 3 of the season if he can get it done here at Watkins Glen. You see Rusty Wallace now moves into the 3rd position, and here's another team that has just, boy, they just had a miserable start to the season. Of course, you can't forget about that wreck that happened at Rockingham. Everybody thought, oh, is Rusty Wallace injured? Is Rusty Wallace hurt? It was certainly taken down for a little bit, but never taken out. No doubt about that, but boy, it's just not been a good season for Rusty Wallace. Hasn't lived up to his hype. He went ahead and won. He went ahead and won at Pocono. That was his first win of the season, but that's just underwhelming considering that he won 7 races just last year. He won 7 races that year. And everybody's thinking, oh, Rusty Wallace is going to be the next big thing. Just hasn't backed it up this season. Just a really big championship hangover as Tim Richmond's trying to find a way around Ricky Rudd. I don't think that's going to be the way to do it. Rudd's going to have the strong line here through turn 6. And he's going to beat him through turn 7 as well. Meanwhile, Jeff Bodine back there, he moved for the 4th position, and he's going to get it. He's going to take it right away from Phil Parsons. Boy, Tim Richmond is really trying to wear out the back bumper here of Ricky Rudd. Rudd does appear to have a slightly faster car, though. Fastest lap currently has Mark Martin, actually, on the fastest lap chart. Rusty Wallace being 2nd and Jeff Bodine being 3rd. I don't think you can say that you're surprised to any of those. And Richmond's going to try it again here in turn 5. We'll see if he can get it done this time. He pulls even with Rudd. He pulls ahead of Rudd. Rudd's going to come back on the outside lane. It's a drag race going down into turn number 6. And again, turn 6, Rudd's going to have the advantage. It seems like every single lap, Richmond gets a little bit closer to taking that spot away. And Jeff Bodine is trying to take that spot away from Rusty Wallace. Boy, those Hendrick machines definitely came to play today here at Watkins Glen. Look at Jeff Bodine. He's going to try to take third away from Rusty Wallace. See if he can get it done here in turn one. It's a tough corner to pass in. It's a really tough corner for the inside line to get a good run off of. And it's just not going to work out for him. So it looks like Wallace is going to stay in the third position for now. Meanwhile, Richmond is trying to run down Ricky Rudd here. Now, Richmond, I think, was a little bit smarter this time. He's like, okay, I haven't been able to make the move in turn 5 the past 2 laps. Maybe I'll try to set him up going into turn 6. Try to get that ideal line. We'll see if that's what he's trying to do or not. Right now, I wouldn't say that is exactly what he's trying to do, but that's what Jeff Bodine did. And I believe Bodine's going to be able to beat the 27 here off the corner and take the third position going into turn number 1. And indeed, a masterful pass there by Jeff Bodine, showing that he can still go out there and get the job done despite having a couple of abysmal seasons. Jeff Bodine is definitely back in the championship hunt this season, albeit he's 170 points down, but certainly not out. If he can get another top 5 today, he cannot be discounted from this championship. No doubt. Richmond again getting a good run on Ricky Rudd going into turn 5. Will he hold off? It's like that's what he's going to do. Look at the closing speed of Jeff Bodine. Bodine has a very, very strong car right now. Here comes Richmond down to the inside. I told you he was going to try to set him up for turn 6 one of these laps. I think he's got it perfectly. He clears him going into turn 7 even. Rudd tries to use the bumper but can't get Richmond loose enough. Richmond back to the point here at Watkins Glen. Boy, oh boy, Tim Richmond showing that he still has plenty left, trying to go after his second championship of his career. He's trying to just go out there and get it done. Bill Elliott is absolutely nowhere to be found right now. Neither is Dale Earnhardt. Both of those drivers are nowhere to be found right now. Bill Elliott is running 14th. Dale Earnhardt is running 19th. And those are both embarrassingly bad when Tim Richmond is going out there and leading the race. So it looks like Tim Richmond's going to open up an even wider points lead at the end of this race. But don't think that this race is over yet. I'm expecting still a very good race coming out of Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd here. Maybe if Jeff Bodine could get around Rudd at some point, he can even go after Tim Richmond, because we saw just how good the closing speed of that 5 car is. It's good too. The 5's got excellent closing speed. He can get the job done. We'll see if Bodine will make any moves on Ricky Rudd here. Not able to get it done in the S's, going through turn 3. And now through turn 4 and onto the back straightaway. Jeff Bodine trying to get any kind of edge that he can. Right now he can't get it done. Jeff Bodine seeing his teammate struggle to get around Ricky Rudd in turn 5. He knew better to do it then. Meanwhile, Rudd shoots out of a cannon in turn 5. He might go after Tim Richmond here in turn 6. Let's see if he sets him up. Wow, as you said, Ricky Rudd shot out of a cannon going out of turn number 5. He couldn't set him up for turn 6, so it looks like Tim Richmond's going to lead another lap here. But man, Ricky Rudd really cranked it up into another gear. They're going through turn 5. I don't know if Jeff Bodine closing in was just enough motivation to be like, hey, you need to get going here. I'm not sure what happened, but boy, something just clicked in that 26 machine. He's trying to get it done too. Richmond is pulling away once again. This long back straightaway is a perfect opportunity to start reeling in that gap, though. The draft certainly coming into play as they go 175 miles an hour plus going into turn number 5. Tim Richmond bobbing and weaving. There's really no hope going on here. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace, he's going to hold on to the 4th position for now, trying to prevent a very hard charging Darrell Waltrip from getting into 4th. Boy, other than the retirement from Ken Schrader, this has been an excellent day for Hendrick Motorsports right now. 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and 42nd. So this really radical idea of putting 4 cars out back in 1988, it looks silly, but boy, all 4 teams looking like championship contenders this season. Especially your current points leader in the form of Tim Richmond. Jeff Bodine is really starting to back off now. Maybe he wore out his tires a bit. Same thing with Rudd. He doesn't exactly have the pace that he once did. Rudd is still there. It looks like he's still trying. Yeah, Rudd's giving it a good effort, no doubt about that. He's still trying to get up there to Tim Richmond. He still wants to win his 3rd of the season. If Richmond takes the win right here, that'll be Richmond's 4th win. That'll be huge for Richmond to take a 4th win. And he'll be taking that directly into Michigan, another track that Richmond's notoriously good at. And then we head into the short track portion of the schedule. Not quite. We're going to head into Bristol and then Darlington, and then really start to get into the short tracks. Richmond, usually not good at Richmond International Speedway or Bristol Motor Speedway. However, Tim Richmond is very good at Martinsville, has several wins there, so he knows how to get it done there. So you got to consider he's building up a little buffer for himself just in case he underperforms during the short tracks events. Those are the wild card events. You never know how those races are going to play out. Bristol can play out in any wild fashion, as we all know. Martinsville, less of a wild card, but still can be a coin toss in some cases. You have North Wilkesboro, and that's about as much of a coin toss as one can get close to. Meanwhile, well, it looks like that we're going to have pit stops here on lap number 16. So pit stops are coming up. Brett Bodine is saying pit stops? Not this lap. So Brett Bodine's going to get 5 bonus points for leading that lap. I always like it when one person tries out this strategy. Man, 5 bonus points can mean a lot for a team. And this is a team that I think has actually exceeded expectations this season, although they haven't gotten a win yet. A lot of people have written off Bud Moore as uncompetitive, and they just aren't getting the job done. Well, they've got the perfect driver in the form of Brett Bodine here, and he's come close to winning more than once. So, man, you got to think that Brett Bodine has really exceeded expectations, almost winning the Daytona 500, almost winning a couple of short track events in the middle of the season too. I think it's only a matter of time before Brett Bodine secures his first career win, especially with this team. They seem to be doing really, really well. Yeah, even though this is the last year of Brett Bodine's deal, I really don't see Brett Bodine going anywhere because this team has done so well with him. We'll see what happens, though. Meanwhile, we go back out, and as you can see, Tim Richmond is way out in front of everybody. Well, maybe not way out, but certainly further out than he was. Pit stops have spread out the field a little bit. And considering we're coming to the line with 5 laps to go, I think that's all that Richmond's going to need. I think Richmond is the faster car on the short run. It's going to be dependent on just how good Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd are on this run. As you say, 5 laps to go when we come to the line. Excuse me. 6 laps to go. The line's already been crossed because Jeff Bodine's already gotten there. And look at this strategy ploy by Brett Bodine. Pitting on his own, he's going to come out in 4th. How about that? That is an amazing way to not just get 5 bonus points, but to manufacture your own top 5 finish. Again, this team just seems to go above and beyond every single week. They seem to be getting better, too. This team really has a lot of upside, and I'm honestly excited for the 1990 season to see how Brett Bodine's going to pan out. These guys are doing a great job developing him, and there's a possibility that, hey, Bodine might even contend for we might have 2 Bodines contending for the championship, depending on wherever Jeff ends up. Whether if he stays with Hendrick or moves elsewhere. Looks like Brett, of course, on cold tires here, he's going to lose the 4th position to Rusty Wallace, but he should be up to speed on this lap. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, inroads really haven't been made towards Tim Richmond, and he continues to pull away. 5 to go. Nothing that Ricky Rudd or Jeff Bodine can really do but hope that the 25 has some kind of mishap here. Just looks like another dominating victory by Tim Richmond, which you can't really be surprised about. Richmond's just done fantastically all season. There's a pretty good possibility he's going to be cruising to his 2nd career championship this year. And that's big news here coming out of Rick Hendrick, to think that they got this transcendent talent in the form of Tim Richmond. When he was back in Rusty Wallace's ride, back in the 27 car, he wasn't racking up any wins. He wasn't exactly being the great one. He was just being there. He comes to Hendrick in 1986, and all of a sudden he gets all these wins. Of course, he misses the championship by a mile because Dale Earnhardt was a demigod that season. But he came right back in 1987. He answered like, "Excuse me, you think I'm done?" Championship. He answers back in 1988 by contending for the championship right up until the very end, ending up leading all drivers in wins with 8. I believe tied for most, actually, with Dale Earnhardt with 8. And boy, the Earnhardt, Richmond, and Wallace show was fun to watch last season. This year, it looks like Richmond's going to be able to get the job done, however. We'll see just how much he's able to get the job done. Meanwhile, here comes Jeff Bodine trying to get to position number 2. Can he pass Ricky Rudd here? Boy, this is going to be a big finish for Rick Hendrick. 2 seconds, 3 laps to reel in 2 seconds, though. I don't think Jeff Bodine's going to be able to do it. Looks like Bodine's going to have to settle for second place. All that Tim Richmond needs to do right now is just hit his marks. Meanwhile, as we explained before, Brett Bodine, he came out in 4th. He kind of fell back to 5th because of cold tires, but hey, here he is. He's staying in the 5th position. I don't see him losing it. That is just a perfect way to manufacture your own top 5, and just an excellent pitch strategy run there by Bud Moore and that team. That was just a great call by that team. Five Guard here is starting to gap the 26 a little bit, but it's not really going to mean much when we come to the line. 2 laps to go. This is really a matter of, is Richmond going to make a mistake? That's what this is a matter of. That's it. Is Richmond going to make a mistake? And right now we have every answer to think no. Richmond is just the talent. Right now Richmond is just the guy, and there's not much that we can do about it. 2 to go. Richmond is still pulling away from everyone. Even though Bodine has the faster best lap, he hasn't been faster recently, and it's not really going to matter being 2 seconds behind Tim Richmond here with only a lap and a half to go. It's going to be pretty much impossible to reel in this gap. Richmond continues to come down, and it looks like Ricky Rudd, he's going to try to battle hard for that second position. So the race here is going to be for second. Here comes Ricky Rudd down to the inside. He's going to try to take the second position from Bodine. It's going to be a race here through turn 7 as they take the white flag. Looks like Rudd, no, they're going to be dead even coming off the corner and then down into turn 1. It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, Rudd beat him off. Ricky Rudd will take the second position back. Tim Richmond is gone. We'll see. I don't think that Jeff Bodine is done yet. What you're watching here is the battle for second. Your leader is Tim Richmond, 2.5 seconds ahead. Coming around turn 4, these two road course veterans, Ricky Rudd and Jeff Bodine, battling each other here as they head into turn 5. Yeah, I don't think this is over. I think Jeff's setting him up for turn 6. We'll see what happens. They kind of look like here he comes. Here comes Bodine. He got a great run off of turn 5. They're going to fight each other here through turn 6. There's going to be one more corner to go, and Ricky Rudd's going to have the inside lane to it. Here they come off the final corner. They're going to come to the line. Richmond's going to grab the checkered flag, and it looks like Jeff Bodine's going to take the second position. Ricky Rudd in 3rd, Rusty Walls 4th, and Brett Bodine 5th. And there you can see another last lap pass for Alan Kowicki getting around Phil Parsons. How about Sterling Marlin coming out of nowhere for the 10th position? A huge points day for Tim Richmond. Bill Elliott finishes 13th. Dale Earnhardt is going to finish 20th. And meanwhile, we take a look at the debuting rookie, Rob Moroso. He will finish 27th today. What has to be considered an unremarkable rookie debut. Just waiting for everyone else to cross the line. But there's your winner, Tim Richmond. He will extend his points lead further. with that win, and we'll see by just how much he has the lead. Now it's a 167-point advantage. So he's now got an over 1 race point advantage, as it really looks clear cut and dry that Richmond is probably going to run away with this championship while he's still got it. But boy, it is a fight everywhere else. Taking a look at 3rd through 8th is all very, very, very close. And then taking a look at, let's see here, 9th through 12th through 13th even is also all very, very close. We all have Mark Martin, Rusty Walls, Phil Parsons, Harry Gant, and Brett Bodine all within a few points of each other. And up here we have Earnhardt, Waltrip, Bodine, Schrader, and Ricky Rudd all within a few points of each other as well. We take a look at the Rookie of the Year battle, and there's really no surprise here. Dick Trickle is firmly in the lead, followed by Hutch Strickland in 2nd. In 3rd, we've got Chad Little. In 4th, of course, Rick Mast not being able to make this. In 3rd, I should say, Ben Hess. 4th, Rick Mast unable to compete. 5th is going to be Mickey Gibbs. And 6th is going to be Butch Miller. 7th for Jim Sauter. And of course, 8th, Rob Moroso, who just made his first career start. Anyways, the next race is going to be at Michigan, which is always a delightful race to watch. We'll see you then.